I made a decision. By the end of my first Toastmaster meeting, I had decided never to return. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening.
Good evening.
Now that might sound rather odd, considering that I'm standing before you today and delivering an education module on the best club climate. What held me back? It wasn't the venue, not the proceedings, not even the elegant speeches. I must confess that the elegant speeches did a wonderful job in convincing me that I did not belong. Today I stand before you not just only to talk about the mechanics of a best club climate, as most of you have already heard them, and some of you have already practiced them. Today I take this opportunity to share my story, a story which was shaped by the best club climate. In my quest to improve my public speaking skills, I attended a Toastmasters meeting. When I entered the room, it was packed. People seemed to know one another. There was confidence in the air, energy in people, and experience in the room. And there I was, a stranger who had none of these qualities. As the meeting began, one speaker after another delivered fabulous speeches, and with each passing speech, I felt that I do not belong here. They are marvelous speakers, and I find no footing among them. Then came the most frightening part of the meeting, the table topic. When the topic master was calling anybody from the crowd and asking them to speak, and there I was, silently negotiating with my own fate that God, he would not call me. If he did, that would be the most embarrassing moment of my life, and I do not want to face that. The redeeming factor was, I was not called. It was a sigh of relief. But by the end of the meeting, I had already decided that I would never come back. Now the question arises, what made me to come back again and again? It was the club climate that was offered to me. And I'll talk about it more as we go into the next slide. The learning environment. I strongly believe that the meeting environment should be conducive to learning. The room should be well organized, and the meeting should follow a clear agenda. When the room is well organized and meeting follows a clear agenda, it sends a silent message, especially to the visitors, that they are in safe hands. But that day, all these things were in place, yet I decided to move. Why? Because meeting environment alone is not enough. That brings me to my next point, members interaction. We often assume that people stay in a club because systems are good, but in reality, people stay because their experience and their interaction with the existing network is meaningful. All our agenda, all our preparedness ultimately comes down to people. We must take care of people. That day when I was standing at the break time and sipping my coffee and struggling with my own thought and had almost decided that I'm never gonna come back to this club. I do not belong here. I do not have the things that is required to become a good public speaker. While I was sinking into my own thoughts, I heard a voice from the back. Someone broke my train of thought and said, "Hi, good evening. My name is Sandeep and I am the vice president of this club." As our conversation progressed, I shared my doubts. I said that there were marvelous speaker. I admire them, but I do not find myself among them. Sandeep listened to me patiently, and finally he broke his silence and said, friend, all the speakers you saw today had experienced the same doubt, same nervousness, what you are feeling now. This nervousness, these doubts, these apprehensions, not unique to yourself. These are shared human experiences. In Toastmaster, we not merely come to deliver speeches. We come here to overcome such fears. Look at myself. I was even worse than you. Yet, I'm a member of this club. That moment, that conversation sounded pleasing. But in retrospect, I felt that that was the most consequential conversation I had. That gave a push to a reluctant visitor to become a returning member. Coming to my next point now. Arriving prepared. That day when Sandeep interacted with me, he knew that what question and what doubt I had, because he has seen so many visitors having the similar doubts, doubting their own capabilities. So he was well prepared. He addressed right to them and hit where it hurts the most. And when in that conversation, he assured me that you all have which is required to become a member. And what happened? I came back. He gave me assurance that I belong. And in the next meeting, I attended. Offering assistance. At the surface level, if I see, and all of us see, a conversation a member is having with a visitor, it sounds a quite ordinary act. All of us do the conversation. Yet, my friends, life is often altered by such ordinary events. When Sandeep shared his stories, he was not just sharing his stories, he was shaping my attitude. He was shaping my positivity, and he was building me from inside. And there was the thing that members' assistant was offered to me, and I came back to the club. Volunteering. Though Sandeep was the vice president, as I earlier said, but volunteering is not only restricted to the ExCom members. All of us are brand ambassador of the club. Volunteering does not start with a big task. It can start with as small as sending a WhatsApp message to the club group, or just taking a place of an absent role player, or just writing a note of encouragement, which most of us have done just for the first time visitors. These seem ordinary acts, but they have powerful impact on, especially on the visitor. That's good. Sharing my own story regarding volunteering and supporting. When I delivered my first speech, I wasn't like the speaker who spoke today. I was shaking. I was not even able to stand. When I finished my speech and returned to my seat, I felt that it has collapsed. It was the disaster of the century. I'm not going to come back to the stage for at least 2 to 3 months. Then the most beautiful thing happened. As the meeting adjourned, I was just standing in the lobby. People came to me and they handed me the note of encouragement, and I read that. And I identified the thing which I was not aware about myself, which people saw in me. They said, you are the excellent speaker, you deliver a good speech, and you need to keep on coming back. And this seems an ordinary act. What one line of note can do? Yes, it can do multiple things. It gave me the boost and encouragement. And you won't believe me that. The guy who was thinking to deliver his next speech, maybe in future, 2-3 months after that meeting, I delivered the speech in the very next meeting. So that is the power of volunteering and supporting. Greeting guests. When we meet a guest, it's just not 2 words, good and evening. At surface level, they are just 2 words, but they have powerful impact. impact. These words are the hesitation breaker. When someone who joins our tribe for the first time, he or she sees the new faces and he or she thinks that I do not belong here, like I felt. These two words are acknowledgement that since you are here now, you are no longer a stranger. You are the part of the tribe, and we will do whatever it takes you to push you forward, to make you a good speaker. So that is the power of greeting. Engage in conversation. The day, coming back to Sandeep's story again, the day when Sandeep came to me and asked me some question, and he just did not need the information. He was genuinely interested. And Toastmasters, when a conversation is led by a genuine interest, it is not merely exchange of words, it is exchange of attention. And the attention is the most beautiful gift we can give to someone, like Sandeep gave to this. When we give our attention, visitors share their concern of showing that I'm feeling nervous. I cannot do what the other speaker did, like I shared. And he answered my questions. He shared his stories, befriending them. The best formula I have ever discovered of friending someone is share your story with them, because human mind is wired to stories. If you share your story like Sandeep shared his story of struggle and the other speaker's story of struggle, I directly connected with those stories. Now it is not only unique to me, everybody has been through the same challenge. When I was connected, I was hopeful. Yeah, these people can do, I can also do. And that inviting them back. When I was almost convinced that yes, I'm going to come to the next meeting, Sandeep said one very important thing. Don't think that you will become overnight success in the next meeting. You will be able to deliver good speeches. Your all nervousness will evaporate. It will not happen this way, because Rome was not built in a day. It was built brick by brick. When you come and you attend a meeting, you are putting a brick on your foundation, and in a year time you will see that your confidence is built and you will be able to deliver speeches without any nervousness. You will be elegant, but for that you need to come back. And I came back, and you see me here today. This is because of that conversation. I want you to speak to the last one, specifically the time. If I leave you with final thought, when I reflect upon that meeting that day, I'm struck with a curious thought. It was not the speeches that held me back, though they did a wonderful job, but I wasn't convinced. What held me back was the club climate that was offered, like people like Sandeep. They ensured that I continue to walk on the path I chose for myself. Even today, people like Philip sir, Biju, Dennis, and all of you are assuring me that I continue to walk the path I chose. And I believe that is the true measure of a thriving club. Toastmaster is not only a place where speeches are delivered, it is a place where people are transformed. So when you see someone next time, especially the visitor, approach them and offer them first smile, offer them first conversation, offer them first word of encouragement, because you never know. Years from now, someone would be standing here and would be delivering his or her success story, and that success story would start with you. Over to you.